What bot do I got? What bot do I got? This time it is Transformers Universe Deluxe Class Prowl. A classic mold, and I know, everyone's into Combiner Wars this and Combiner Wars that now. But sometimes you just gotta stop, take a breath, and look back to see how something from yesteryear measures up. Besides, he is a policeman who's a robot. That alone lets him have the right to remain awesome. Let's get right into True Review number 6. Welcome YouTube Nation, welcome TF fans, and welcome to anybody else silly enough to come to my channel. Today I want to talk about what bot I got, and it is this guy. And I think that it is worth sometimes taking a look at these figures to see how they stack up, to see if the updated version is better than what we had before, or is he still the definitive Prowl? As always, I want to compare paint apps, I want to compare posability, playability, and I want to compare transformation. The truth of the matter is that the mark I give this time for paint apps is going to be affected by quality of products used. Paint apps, if we look at the head, I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful head sculpt for Prowl. It is completely Prowl. There is no doubt about it. We look at the chest, we can see that it has the paint detail just as it should be. The chest is one nice bulbous piece, as it should be, based on the G1 animation model. We come down, we see the silver here on the hips, the white thighs. We can come right on down the figure, and the paint apps are exactly where they should be. In bot mode and in vehicle mode, the paint apps are fantastic. I want to give them a 10, but then we got to talk about materials used. The translucent plastic used on the doors and the roof. I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but there's a bit of smudging here, and on the doors there's definitely some smudging of the white. Actually, I'm not sure if it's smudging of the white or the black. Either way, it looks sort of fuzzy. It is not the way that you would expect it to look after you touch it a bit. So you just need to be delicate with it, and he'll be fine. It's not going to smudge all over the place. It's just, it gets a little bit fuzzy, and I think it's because the white didn't cure properly when it was painted on to the translucent plastic. In this mode, I don't really think you see it so much. You'll notice it a bit on the hubcaps, because that's where it's happening worse for me anyway. The hubcaps when we put them in vehicle mode. So because of that, I have to reduce his paint apps ranking down to about an 8. An 8, and it's largely because they probably shouldn't have used the translucent plastic here for the doors and the roof. That brings us to the next part, posability, playability. I'll tell you now, in vehicle mode, and we'll see it when we get there, he rolls like a champ. So that works out very well. Posability, his head does move back and forth. It can slightly look up. It can slightly look down. And when I say slightly, I mean real slightly. But you want to be careful, because if you move it too far, you get this happen. And that's not right. But it is part of transformation, so that's why it occurs. Shoulders hinge out beautifully. They can go right around 360. We have a nice deep elbow bend, a little over 90 degrees. There is a bicep swivel on this guy, and there's even a wrist swivel, and you can see me turning the gun around in his hand the entire way. The gun itself, I'll take it out. It is okay. I mean, it's a gun. he can shoot things, he can blast them in the face. You know, is it G1 accurate? I don't know. I really don't pay that much attention to the guns, but he has it. We have some beautiful waist articulation here. You know, this guy can dance. This guy can go out on the floor and boogie. The thighs do not have a swivel, but there is a swivel just below the knee, oddly. Still, swivel, hey, it counts. Swivel counts. And he can do the splits just like a champ. This guy is a complete gymnast. Complete gymnast. So far we have him a dancer, a gymnast, and a police officer. Knees are double jointed. And, I mean, he can bend them up very deep, kick himself in the butt all day long. Even if you just use one hinge for the knee, you still get such a deep bend, largely because of transformation, but it's beautiful to see. As far as the feet go, you get a little bit of tilt with the heel spur, which, you know, it can help him. It can help him when it comes to standing, I find. If his feet are just straight, I don't find he stands that well. If you kind of have a very slight, see if I can show it with this foot, a very slight tilt with the ankle rocker, or the heel rocker, sorry, the heel spur, there you go. It helps him tremendously. I do not have the Combiner Wars Prowl mold, but I do have Streetwise. And it is the same mold, except of course the Combiner Wars Prowl is painted more Prowlish. Which one looks more like Prowl to you? I'm thinking that if you're an IDW fan, probably this one, because I believe in the comic books he is a little bit revisioned, reformatted, and doesn't have the iconic door wings of the G1 model. If you're a collector, I think you're going to want this one, because he's going to evoke that nostalgia factor for you. If you're getting it for a kid to play with, I would actually stick with the Combiner Wars one, because it's solid, it's a fun, quick transformation. Are the paint apps as good on the Combiner Wars one? I don't think so. I understand what they were going for with the chest, but I mean, obviously the chest is going to be one flat piece instead of that bulbous, you know, unichest piece. Are the paint apps good on the legs? Well, the Combiner Wars one actually has black thighs. The thighs should be white. But I do like the paint down here on the window sections of the Combiner Wars one being kind of a bluish, metallic-y bluish color, rather than this brown color. Nevertheless, we'll get into Streetwise, because you'll notice this isn't Prowl, this is Combiner Wars Streetwise. We will get into him when I do the Protector Bots and Defensor. But I just wanted to show him here now as a comparison of this mold to this mold, because we're going to get the same sort of comparison with Smokescreen coming up. Pardon me. We'll move him out of the way. And let's get back to this guy. Let's look at probably the main reason that we are all here. Transformation. See how it compares to that Combiner Wars one. The transformation for this guy's tricky. I'm not going to lie to you folks. This is about my 5th time trying to do this video. Why is this my 5th time? Because these door wings pop off almost religiously. And I'm trying to show you a version of this transformation without popping these off. You'll also notice that this time I'm in robot mode to start rather than vehicle mode to start. There's a reason for that. I think he is more difficult to change from robot to vehicle than he is to change back from vehicle to robot. So far, posability, playability, honestly in both modes, a 10. He's fantastic. Paint apps, only because of the translucent plastic used and the way that the paint didn't quite cure on it, I'm giving an 8. Not bad mark so far. Let's see how the transformation goes. And I'll tell you now, when I bought this guy, I bought him loose. I don't even have instructions for him. So this is not the easiest transformation to just kind of up and do. But nevertheless, hopefully you can learn from, you know, my trial and error. Fold in the heel spurs on both sides, just as I did there. Fold up his feet inside and peg his lower legs together. So far, not bad. You could even, if you want, like kind of bend them here at the knees, because these are going to fold up around back. I wouldn't do it just yet. I wouldn't fold it up all the way just yet. Go about that far for now, and we'll leave it. Then we got to come to the top, and the top is where the pain in the butt starts. We take back the entire roof section, and we need to deal with these. These can be challenging, largely because it's not real intuitive and clear how they flip back, because they're on a hinge here that allows them to flip right back like this. Then you can take them right down. But is that the best way to do it? I would say to you that your goal is to get the guns to go back and look kind of like this. Kind of like this. And that's going to change again soon, because we need to flip up this entire front hood piece. Let's open up his chest, flip in his head, and close up his chest. Flip him out straight. You can kind of see a little bit of carriness coming together there now. Now, let's deal with these wing bits as best we can. I'm going to try and do it without popping it off. I don't promise anything though, because it is difficult. You could straighten out his arms too, because we're going to need that done very soon as well. The trick to dealing with these pieces is this piece of black plastic in here and this armature right here. The armature does move down and it does move up. Manipulating that is one of the keys to dealing with these wings. The black piece right now is, if you hold it this way, the black piece is kind of going up vertically. You want to get this horizontal so that you can straighten this piece out, because it's going to be the door and the hubcap for the front section. And let's see if I can start this for you. See, you open it up wider like that. Then you want to straighten it out. If I can. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let's try and give ourselves a little bit more room here to work. These shoulder pieces are on an armature in here. That armature kind of just pushes in and up naturally when you push on it. And that's what we're looking to get done, because we want this tire to kind of go into this wheel well here. Just like that. So the armature, again, let's see if I can open this up. And I got it popped off of the ball joint already, so I'll open this side up because that did not work. And the thing is, if you do pop it off the ball joint, it's only a matter of sticking it back on. The ball joint, if you can see it, the ball joint right here is into a piece of that clear plastic. Once you have this done, you kind of just need to manipulate it down and around like that. Let's try it again on this other side over here and see how we do. Again, we push in the tire into that wheel well. We need to get this armature down, and we're going to hope for the best here. There, this side worked. The key is to kind of get this piece facing straight up and then fold this piece down until it's flat. This is sort of the angle that you want to have the armature on and whatnot. And then same thing, you bring it around up over the wheel well, like that. You'll notice I've been pretty delicate trying to do this, and I still had these, well, one of these side wings pop off. Now all we need to do is kind of put them together, but we still have the arms hanging out down below. All you do with those is you push them straight down and you put the hands in behind his silver and black waist plate here. And just sort of in like that. Just sort of in like that. And you'll see, of course, he does have a little bit of visible head syndrome. Such is life. Fold the legs up the rest of the way. These kneecap sections on the back, you can fold them down. And you'll see now he's really starting to become car-ish. But here's the thing, we still need to peg in this roof, we still need to peg in these sides, and that is the most difficult part of this transformation. So, the roof section, I find it easiest to peg it in on the front and the back first. And then push in the side pieces as flush as you can for the front, and try and really kind of wiggle them in here on the side. And this is where a big challenge comes in. They do tab in, but it's just not, it's a matter of, if you unpeg one thing with this guy, everything else is going to kind of unpeg. You know, if you're trying to put in a door on the side, you might unpeg, I don't know, the roof. And there is Prowl in vehicle mode. The weapon folds up. And because I didn't have instructions where I bought this guy loose, I really think it's just supposed to fit in under here, like that. You can't, maybe you can't even see it. Vehicle mode, like I said, rolls like a champ. Right here you'll notice that white. That white is off from this white, because this is white plastic, this was painted on to translucent plastic. And with my fiddling, and you just saw how much fiddling I did, I have worn some of this off. It's unfortunate, but he does roll like a champ. Transformation, at best, I'm going to give a 4. And I'm an adult collector. He's the sort of guy, if you're not using him regularly, the transformation is going to be a huge pain for you, because you're not just going to remember it, because it's not intuitive. It does have some fun bits. His legs, they're great. The way the head goes in is great. It's just those door wings really should have been done a lot better. Right now, as I'm talking about him, I'm transforming Streetwise, just so you can see that mold in vehicle mode next to this mold. And you'll see how much quicker it is for me to do Streetwise. Why am I not doing Streetwise on camera? Because this isn't the review of Streetwise. I will get to him. And I think anybody who has this Combiner Wars mold has an idea of how this transformation is going. If you have, you know, dead end, if you have Wild Rider, whatever his name was, Breakneck, if you have Streetwise, or if you have Prowl, you know, you're going to know how this mold goes. And there he is. It took me a lot longer to do this guy than this guy. But this guy, I mean, look at the comparison. Again, being a G1 fan as I am, this is an updated Prowl. This looks like Prowl in vehicle mode. This, I can see what they would be going for if you painted in black and white. It's not quite Prowl. So we'll take him out of it. Paint apps and quality products, an 8. Posability, playability, a 10. Transformation, a 4 at best. If you're a collector, get this one. if you're looking for a prowl for your son or daughter, get this one. You'll be happier. Overall score, he's going to get about, and I'm being kind here because it's not an official average, but I'm going to have to give him a 7. I'm going to have to give him a 7 just because of those side wings. That's it. I want to give him higher. I want to give him about a 9 because I love him. I love seeing him on the shelf. I don't regret getting him for a second because to me, this is Prowl. This is Prowl. This is Prowl. I wish I had people here behind me who could do that chant along with me. But like I said, those wings on my version anyway really do like pop off, and I've heard that it's a common problem. Anyway, that's it for this one, folks. In the books, GotBot review number 6, Universe Deluxe Class Prowl. Take care, and I will see you next time.